What is going on, crypto and Cardano Nation? Welcome back to the Dapp Central YouTube channel. I'm your host here, Fareed, and as always, as a part of today's video, we're going to be chatting about the latest developments within the Cardano ecosystem. As a part of today's video, first things first, we're going to talk about the growing DeFi landscape on the network. Second, we're going to highlight the recent release of the official VyFI testnet. Third, we're going to highlight Clay Nation following up on yesterday's Cardano scoop and their recent partnership with the Sandbox game. After that, we're going to talk about a brand new wallet called Vesper, which has officially launched on the Apple and Android Play stores specifically for Cardano. And then in closing of today's Cardano scoop update, we're going to highlight Book.io and their new reader version, which is available on the Google Play Store, as well as JPG.store, which has recently introduced a new CIP allowing for better handling of metadata on their assets. As always, if it's your first time stopping by here, my goal is to provide you guys in the community with the latest news, tutorials, and reviews for the top builders in the ecosystem. I'm also a single stake pool operator operating the official Dapp Central stake pool. And if you guys want to support my mission or support me along the way to educate the broader Cardano community, then consider delegating with the stake pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Thank you very much for your support as we continue to grow this ecosystem. That said, let's jump straight into our very first topic for today's video, which is going to be us highlighting the growing Cardano DeFi landscape. So as you guys can see here towards the very top, we've got all of the dexes currently built on Cardano. And this was the first wave of quote unquote DeFi that we basically saw within the ecosystem, right? Without the ability to easily swap in and out of tokens, all these other DeFi platforms would not necessarily have a backbone to run on. So we now have MinSwap, Wing Riders, Sunday Swap, and Muesli Swap. Right below that, we've got Spectrum Finance, Revuto, which is actually going to be a subscription-based app built on Cardano, followed by Cody, which just released the JED stablecoin as well as the Shen Reserve token. And then we've got JED, which was just introduced with over $12 million locked within TVL, as well as our own in-house Oracle, which is going to be the Charlie 3 platform. Right below that on the third row, we've got one of my personal favorites, which is going to be Meld, which is currently on the testnet right now. And they're going to be a crypto to crypto and a crypto to fiat lending and borrowing protocol. To the right of that, we've got Lending Pond, which allows you to trade NFTs very quickly and use those as collateral for loans. And then to the right of that, we've got AADA Finance, which is going to be a competitor to Meld. Now, right now, they're going to be a peer-to-peer platform, but I do believe, and actually I'm going to be covering this in a separate video, that they are going to be aiming to move towards a peer-to-pool protocol fashion, similar to what we have with Meld. Now, on the very right-hand side here, we've got Fluid Tokens, which I believe will be undergoing an ISPO or an initial stake pool offering very, very soon. But they're also going to be a NFT-based collateral platform built on Cardano. Now, there is another platform that I also cover here on my channel, which is going to be the Paribus protocol. Paribus is going to be dealing with synthetic assets, NFTs, and regular crypto loans. That said, they're not currently on here just yet, but they will be launching on the mainnet, and I've got fully dedicated videos basically covering that project in much more depth. So as much as I would like to say that this is the entire ecosystem, I do want to say that there are other players that will be coming in, and this chart will continue to grow. On the very bottom here, we've got VyFinance, which I'm actually going to be talking about here as a part of my next segment, as they just launched on the testnet. And then to the right of that, we've got a brand new bond platform, which is going to be Optum Finance. Now, their goal here is going to be to help out all of the stake pool operators looking to get that initial delegation, as it is a little bit hard to kind of get started up. Once you're able to pass that 2 million delegation threshold, things do become a lot easier. And then very lastly, another project of mine, which is a pretty good favorite, which is going to be the Indigo protocol. If you guys are not familiar with Indigo, they're going to be a synthetics platform built on Cardano, providing users with with price exposure to different assets that don't necessarily belong to or are native to Cardano. And so right now we've already seen the launch of iBTC and iETH, as well as iUSD, which is going to be their own synthetic stablecoin. Again, keep in mind that this is not going to be the official tokens themselves, but they'll provide you with the price exposure tied to that actual token, which may not necessarily be kept within the Cardano ecosystem. So let me know what you guys think here. I do want to just quickly take a second just to jump over to DeFi Llama, and we're going to take a look at the TVL right now on Cardano. So it currently sits at about 115 million. If I scroll down just a little bit, we can see that MinSwap dominance has risen just a little bit. During my last update, I believe is at about 32%. We've got Indigo, at number 2 with $18 million currently locked up in USD. And then coming in at number 3, we've got another DEX, which is going to be the Wing Riders protocol. Now, if I quickly jump over here into the ADA valuation, we are going to be very, very close to an all-time high. Again, I've been making sure to keep track of the TVL, and I'll definitely be releasing a fully dedicated video kind of celebrating once we're able to break past this high of about 324 million, which occurred on March 23rd of 2022. So as much as people would like to say that Cardano is moving very slowly and that there's no liquidity here, while it doesn't necessarily match up to what we have on Ethereum, which is currently in the billions in terms of TVL, we are continuing to make progress in our own way. So really, really good news there. But that is going to wrap it up for our very first segment. Again, highlighting the growing DeFi landscape being built on the network. Next, I want to talk to you guys about VyFI, and as I mentioned, their recent launch on the testnet, and I believe it's going to be on the preview testnet. Now, I do also want to give a big shout out here to Stephen Ward and John, who's going to be their marketing manager, as they've reached out to me and they've actually given me a one-on-one demo highlighting their testnet. I'm also a member of their closed testnet group, and so I'll be reviewing that here personally, and then I'll be releasing additional videos highlighting the DEX and the bar feature. So without taking up any more time, let's quickly read this tweet, and I want to highlight the 2 bits of functionality that are available or that will be available as a part of this testnet. So it says here the private beta, which as I mentioned, again, is going to be a closed testnet, has commenced. We're ecstatic to have our beta testers play around with both the DEX and the bar. Everything is working well so far. Jumping over into this latest article here, covered by VyFi Finance. If you guys are not following them on Medium, of course, as always, make sure to do so. I really like Medium because it's a solid source of information. It's not anything that's going to be swayed by the community. You're literally hearing directly from the projects themselves in a professional, short, and concise manner. So it states here, VyFinance will be offering a feature where users can stake their VyFi to the bar and earn a share of fees that are generated across the VyFinance ecosystem. Every swap that takes place on the DEX is going to be charged a fee. Their liquidity pools will have a fee of 0.3%, of which 0.2% of that will be given back to the liquidity providers, and the remaining 0.1% will be served, quote unquote, to the bar. Now, when they refer to the word serve, they're referring to serving fees as VyFi to the bar, which will in fact cause a process where fees are going to be collected to purchase VyFi back from the market and then distribute that VyFi proportionally to all the users staked to the bar contract. So think of this in a nutshell as a revenue sharing feature as a part of the actual VyFi protocol. So if you want to earn some passive income, all you would need to do is basically stake with the Vi bar. And as people or as users use the actual platform, a part of the fees that'll be charged to them by making swaps using their DEX will be coming back to those users who are staking as a part of the bar. Now, it is a little bit of a new concept, which I'm still kind of wrapping my head around, so I'm not going to be able to dive too deep into it as a part of this particular video, but I want to read just one more section here, and then we're going to move right along. So it states here how to actually engage with this platform and the bar. So users will stake their VyFi or their VyFi token, which will be the governance token for this platform, at their bar in exchange for XVyFi. Now, XVyFi is going to be a separate token, and XVyFi tracks your proportional ownership of the VyFi token held in the bar. Every time you withdraw VyFi from the bar, the XVyFi sent from the transaction will be burnt, and you receive your deposit plus all the VyFi earned. So again, just a brief introduction to what they're going to be building. And as I mentioned before, I've currently got access to their beta testnet, which I'll be reviewing and then releasing a fully dedicated video for. Again, thank you to Steven and John for their demo, as I found that to be extremely helpful. Now, one last thing that I want to mention here before I wrap up is going to be that the VyFI team is planning to introduce what they're going to be calling community staking pages. If I'm not mistaken, they've already got a few up and running right now, but as a part of my latest conversation with Steven, they will be releasing additional community staking pages. And one that they mentioned that really caught my attention was going to be for the Cornucopias team. If you guys are not familiar with Cornucopias, they're going to be one of the personal, I think, top metaverses building on Cardano, with one of the biggest and strongest communities building on the network. So as we get more information surrounding this new community staking page and its offers, again, I'll be making sure to release additional videos covering all of that good information. Coming in at number 3 are going to be updates surrounding the Clay Nation NFT collection. Now, if you guys missed my last video, I basically highlighted the fact that the Clay Nation team had recently made a brand new partnership with the Sandbox game. Sandbox is going to be a top-notch metaverse being built right now on Ethereum, and they've already undergone their alpha testing phase. This is also going to be the first ever Cardano-based project, or CNFT project, to go ahead and actually collaborate with the Sandbox as a whole. So again, congratulations to the Clay Nation team. If you guys want to find out more about that partnership announcement, then make sure to check out my prior video, which I'll make sure to leave a link to down below. Now, it says here, we are excited to announce the upcoming launch of quote unquote the Stand, the first example of Clay Nation's integration of e-commerce. This team has done an amazing job of continuing to give its holders a lot of utility. As I mentioned as a part of my last video, they've also got their own native token, which is going to be called the Clay token. On top of that, they've built out their own NFT marketplace in which you can actually use the Clay token in order to purchase or trade assets. On top of that, they've got a land plot NFT, which are called the Clay pitches, which will give you access to land within their actual metaverse, which will be built in 3D using their Clay animation style. So it continues to read, the web framework we're creating will allow pitch holders, which again is going to be that separate NFT collection for the land, to create customizable virtual environments such as commercial spaces. So we've got a really cool screenshot here. We can see our Clay avatar here, and then we've got some different outfits here. We've got some jeans, some space pants, and then we've got somebody back here at the cashier stand. So really, really cool to see, again, just back-to-back announcements from this team as they continue to build. This is not financial advice, but I do believe that this particular project will have a long run within the Cardano ecosystem. Again, do your own research, but I wanted to share this particular update here with you guys. In closing, they are also partnered, I believe, with Snoop Dogg and Medici, who is going to be his son. All right, moving right along, we're going to be talking about a brand new wallet that has recently launched on Cardano, which is going to be called Vesper. If it's your first time hearing about Vesper, they're going to be a Cardano Lite wallet that I actually just heard about not too long ago. And as you guys can see here, they made a pretty big announcement here stating that they're going to be available on iOS and Android on February 20th. So this just launched no more than 3 to 4 days ago from the time that I'm shooting this video. Now it says here, carry the world of Cardano in the palm of your hand. Vesper mobile wallet, currently available on iOS and Android. If I jump over here into the Apple Play Store, you can see that the app is available with a decent rating of about 4.8 stars. Now, granted, they only have 11 ratings so far, but that is excusable, at least in the short term, given that they are a brand new platform being built on Cardano. Now, I mentioned earlier, they're going to be a Lite wallet. And so if you're not familiar with what that means, basically, when you have a wallet, there's going to be two different types. There's going to be a full wallet, which requires you to basically download and have access to the entire Cardano blockchain, which includes the likes of Daedalus, right? That wallet is extremely powerful, but it's also very big in the sense that it requires you to basically have full access to the actual Cardano blockchain, right, in order to use the wallet. Whereas a Lite wallet, which is going to be similar to what we have with Nami, will not require you to basically have access or direct interaction with the full Cardano blockchain in order for you to use it. So you're not going to get all of the bells and whistles in that sense if you're a little bit more techie. But if you're looking to just do the basics, which is to send ADA, receive ADA, send NFTs, that kind of thing, then a Lite wallet is more than fine for you to do that with. So this is going to be a Lite wallet, and here we've got some additional reviews. Again, I'm going to do my due diligence here, and I'm going to see if I can potentially get this downloaded. Given that it is brand new, I do want to be careful, right, in where you actually input your seed phrases. So if you guys are looking to get access to this, then make sure you maybe create a brand new wallet, or you use a test wallet that you're not going to be holding a lot of assets on, given that this is a brand new wallet coming to the ecosystem. If I jump over into the next tab here, this is going to be the Google Play Store for anybody who's using Android. Again, we've got some screenshots here. Let me pull these up. This is going to be the wallet creation page. This is going to be the actual wallet assets page itself, which looks relatively clean. I actually kind of like the look and feel of it. Looks a little bit more detailed than Nami. I would say like Nami is probably the most beginner wallet that we have right now in Cardano. And this looks like a slight step up, but it looks very, very clean. Looks like it's got NFT support, fungible token support, and then an explore page, which is actually pretty interesting. So this might actually be a competitor to some of the other established wallet brands that we've seen within Cardano. And I'm thinking specifically the Giro wallet right there, also on Apple Play Store, as well as the Android Play Store, offering very, very similar features. That is going to do it for that particular update. Again, highlighting the Vesper wallet, which is just released on Cardano. Moving into the next story for today's Cardano scoop. And actually, before I continue on, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, right, and what I'm doing here in terms of educating the community, I would really appreciate it if you guys could tap that like button. It does go a long way, given that I'm a single content creator, and helps to get this content out to other members within the Cardano community. Thank you very much. Jumping back in here, what I want to highlight is going to be book.io. So if you guys are not following them, you can follow them at book_io. They're basically going to be a Web3 marketplace for buying, reading, and selling ebooks and audiobooks. And we've seen them actually go cross-chain or multi-chain here as a part of their latest 2 to 3 mints. The very first mint that went multi-chain was the Alice in Wonderland book sale. But that said, it reads here, we've got some exciting news. We're proud to announce the launch of our Android mobile reader application. Simply go to Google Play Store on any device that supports the Google Play Store, and there you go. You can download their platform or download their application, and you're off to doing some happy reading. So again, if I jump back over here into the Google Play Store, we can see that this particular application has 61 5-star reviews, which is relatively hard to actually do. So again, this is a much more established brand compared to Vesper. They've been around the ecosystem for quite a bit, and they actually showed up at CNFTCon, in which I was able to interview Josh, who I believe is going to be their head or their CEO. And so again, they're very transparent. They're out within the community, and they've got a ton of support, not only from Cardano, but also Ethereum, as they've just gone cross-chain. Right now, they're sitting at about 100 downloads. And it's pretty simple here. All you need to do is just click the install button here to go ahead and install the application. Now, once you do that, you can actually go ahead and link your wallet, and then you can go ahead and get access to whatever NFTs are available in your wallet for reading. So really, really cool update here. And I would expect to see additional updates and features made to this platform as we get additional books. Moving on to the next story for today's Cardano scoop. And this is actually going to be the last story that I've got for you guys. This is going to be surrounding JPG.store. Now, if you guys are not familiar with JPEG and you guys are in the Cardano ecosystem, I would be highly surprised, but they're going to be right now the #1 marketplace building on the network. We did recently see another NFT marketplace recently launch, and that was the Plutus.art platform, in which they've gotten a lot of traffic as well coming online. And then we also have the likes of Flipper.io, which will be launching sometime in Q2 or Q3 of this year. So we're going to start to see more competition for JPEG.store. And I think that's really good, right? is what basically drives adoption and further growth within the space. We don't want anybody getting complacent, and we actually saw this play out very well amongst the dexes building on Cardano, in which we now have, as I mentioned before, Sunday Swap, Min Swap, Wing Riders, and Muesli Swap. They're all constantly forcing each other to continue innovating, and I think that's what we're also going to see when we begin to have Plutus.art and Flipper.io kind of grow in their own respective space. Now it states here, pivoting back to JPG.store, the CIP-68 metadata standard is now supported on JPEG. If you guys don't know what CIP stands for, that stands for Cardano Improvement Proposal, which are basically proposals to improve the on-chain features of the platform, which are voted by the community. Now, this particular CIP, which is a little bit more technical, is basically providing additional features to make NFT metadata more robust. So it's not going to be anything that's going to be groundbreaking, but if you're a little bit more techie, you will definitely find a little bit of value within this particular update. Now, if I jump over onto the Cardano official CIP website, and I'm going to leave the link to this down in the description below, you can actually go ahead and figure out all the ins and outs and all of the different bits of metadata features that will be coming as a part of CIP number 68. That is going to do it for today's Cardano Scoop update. Again, I hope you guys found this to be useful. If you did, please make sure to tap that like button. But as a part of today's video, we talked about general Cardano development, in which we talked about the growing DeFi landscape. We then talked about VyFI and their brand new release on the testnet, as well as Clay Nation and their integration of e-commerce utility, as well as the brand new Vesper wallet and the Book.io reader, which is now going to be available on the Android Play Store. And then we just closed out by wrapping up by talking about JPG.store and their recent CIP-68 adoption. Again, if this is your first time stumbling by here on this channel, consider subscribing. If you found anything that I talked about here today to be helpful, tap that like button. Again, it goes a long way. And then very lastly, if you guys have any questions about any of the topics we talked about today, or just about Cardano in general, then make sure to leave a comment down below. I truly do appreciate you guys sticking along all the way through with me through this video. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.